Okay.
That's it. Oh my God! Why didn't we do this from the start?
Yeah, this is a good point. Because if we need to invite other people and stuff, we have to use the software. But for this is much simpler.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Yes.
Maybe some people will actually start watching this at some point. Let me just make sure that people are aware.
They're
still trying to upload. Wow, nice.
Yeah, if you want to connect to the Wi-Fi, here is the.
That's amazing. It just didn't do anything.
Do you want the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah, I guess I do, but.
Sorry, that's tiny. I sent it to you on Instagram. I realized it's probably easier to just do it from there.
You sent it to me on Instagram?
And
this picture?
Yes.
Oh, I thought maybe you typed it out.
Yeah, that would have been nice of me.
No.
All right, Jeremiah says is better. Well, that's very
flattering. Oh my God, it took forever.
We figured it out. But it's also the first in-person live podcast we've ever done.
This is completely new and exciting. Jared and Nick do it all the time for Bladeology.
Yeah. Well, they are the premier knife podcast now.
That's true.
Seated our place.
That's true. Hold on. What was I just doing? Oh, yeah. Connecting to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, man. And what is the name of your Wi-Fi?
It's a bunch of that one.
Thank you. Well, so how's everybody doing this evening? It's Thursday.
Whopping 5 people. The Knife Nuts Podcast Nation, really.
That's actually way more people than I would imagine, considering we have. Yeah, so this is basically just a test run since Dave's going to be spending some time here monthly, I would say, right?
Yep.
And we figure we might as well try and make the most of it and have some fun. I bet I put in that password incorrectly. I can't do 2 things at once. Let's just be honest with ourselves. So first things first, on Halloween, we'll announce the winner of the KMP Voodoo serial number 1. Yes, it's in there.
Oh, cool.
And today the extra scales and all arrived. So
I have not seen this.
Before I left, I actually installed said scales.
Ooh. Oh, are these the new scales that are more?
There's a camera.
They're more scorpion-y.
They're more scorpion-y.
Dramatically more scorpion-y.
I actually kind of like the look of the darker ones more personally.
I was curious to see those because these are very obviously yellow. Is this also just a different version of Ultim or different kind of Ultim?
Yeah, Ultim. I've mentioned it before, but it goes from like an almost translucent, to like almost a more opaque black. Yeah, so there's different versions of it and things like that.
Yeah, this is significantly more opaque than the Ultim I've seen.
Yeah.
It's also has a very matte texture.
Nice. that has more to do with how they finish it. A lot of times you see people put the fluting on there, and it's more of that ambery color. This is definitely a little more yellow.
It's
very scorpion-y.
Yes,
yeah.
No, this is definitely appropriate.
As you can see, I also added some of the black Damascus stuff to it. So this is my personal one. So this isn't one that anyone will be getting, but that is it turned out pretty good.
This is and one detail I never noticed on these, and I don't know if it's just on this one, is that the thumb stud is screwed in.
Yeah, I actually
torque screw.
I noticed it when I was disassembling this. I was like, how does this work? And it's one long screw that goes through and into the other stud.
That is neat. I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna have to switch it out, but it is so much nicer than having them press fit.
Right. And the actual construction of this thing is actually pretty impressive. I don't like disassembling knives. A lot of people do. I usually get Jake to do it for me.
One person in particular really likes.
This is actually a little more complicated than most, but easy if you just take your time. So if you're going to be someone that got a KMP Voodoo and you're going to get some of these scales, you're going to once you take off the front scale comes off pretty easily. It's also centered in there with a pin that goes through the back spacer as well, and the back spacer is attached via its own screws to the liners. So it's pretty impressive. Yeah,
those are nice. I do really like the yellow scale. Was there ever going to be a SubZero version?
There is a SubZero version. Yeah,
I should I should have gotten it.
The SubZero was a Damasteel with some of the blue, some blue. I think it's camo carbon or fat carbon.
I should have got one from my sister's boyfriend, partner. I don't even know what to call him at this point. They've been together so long. He DJs as DJ SubZero at video game bars in Portland, Oregon. So if you're ever in Portland and you go to any of the video game bars, you might see DJ SubZero.
So if I walk in dressed as Scorpion, do we like lock eyes and it does like the whole Kill Bill thing where it just zooms in on our faces a bunch of times? Then I have to say, get over here.
Exactly.
I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan, actually. So when Sean was discussing names and stuff for these, I was like, well, if we got to do a SubZero and Scorpion.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
So
well, and now you can just spin off the original scales as Noob Saibot or Smoke. Or
well, I even said on the thing, like, Smoke, his first appearances in Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
And he was literally just
just
a palette.
reskin,
He was just a palette swap Scorpion.
Yeah, exactly.
So it worked out very well.
Smoke was my favorite character from Mortal Kombat 2.
He's my favorite character in Mortal Kombat 1 right now. So I'm playing that on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, the release.
It's really good. I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in the chat. We got Louis. Hi, Louis. How are you? We got Addicted to Knives. Always great to see you, man. He enjoys disassembling knives, especially the Tucson Grandpa. One of the best names for a knife of all time.
I forgot who I gave that to. I think I gave it to Everyday City Carry. I think I gave it to Ray. I gave it to someone, that knife. That was a bad knife. Actually, it really wasn't a bad knife. It was a badly named knife, but I'm very glad that Real Steel has a knife coming out that reminds me a lot of it that I'm very excited about from Oh Stop Hell. I think it's the RB7 or something. They teased it on Instagram.
What a name.
Yeah.
The Oh Stop Hell RB7.
Yeah, if I can, I'll find it on Instagram and share it here. That's the only problem, we can't do screen sharing, but I can.
In the meantime,
hold the phone up to the camera.
Check this out. This is the other Ultim scaled object that I have with me. It's the the Serges Knives Rook. Incredible thing.
It is.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so this one, the RB7.
Oh yeah.
So
that
Real
thing.
Steel
Very
RB7.
slim.
It is an Oh Stop Hell design and actually looks really awesome. I'm very excited about it.
Ooh, Dave's cat just came up to me.
Yes, we have many guests now. So the cats are just going to replace Brian and Jake. Well, maybe just Jake. Brian actually is around. Jake, actually, Jake was very enthusiastic in the last episode.
Yeah, he
said the most words per minute he ever has on the podcast.
That's true. He's got a new lease on life, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna have to move into the Knife Nuts mansion.
That's right. Patty, how are you? It's good to see you, man.
Okay, see, I'm pretty out of it.
I brought a lot of stuff mainly because Dave hasn't handled this.
Yeah,
the Wiener Warrior is a thing. Show them the mustard side. Always show mustard side.
I was unaware they were doing this. I mean, I'm a little sort of out of touch with knives these days. So I just saw this the other day on Blade HQ. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? But it's funny and people buy it.
Well, I guess Timote from Blade HQ texted me, I guess it was like a month ago now, more than a month ago. He's like, dude, what's your address? I got something to send you. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's that. And shows up at my door and I have absolutely no idea what's inside. I open it up and of course there's the knife, but there's also a jigsaw puzzle. So I haven't done a jigsaw puzzle in forever, but it was a pretty fun way to market a product.
This is great. Like the fact that it's not expensive and therefore you can get in on the joke without like.
I don't understand the hate that gets thrown towards it. Like, how does it affect you?
It's a toy.
If anything, it's creating more enthusiasts.
Yeah,
you're getting more people into the hobby.
So silly.
That's a big deal.
Honestly, kind of a safe knife to use. Right? It's totally rounded.
I think PVK should have their own gimmick automatic.
Yeah, Jeremiah, you really need to get in on the gimmick autos.
As the retailer that is known for slinging switchblades.
Yeah.
That there needs to be
you got to come up with some dumb gimmick.
A version.
The problem is I think Boker is probably at capacity when it comes to pumping out these collections.
They would have to class it up a little.
Yeah, something a little more fitting, but equally stupid.
They would definitely class it up.
That one is fun.
And somewhere in between the Boker and a Microtech, something in like what would be amazing? A PVK exclusive Mykov in some sort of
Yeah.
wacky pattern. I don't know
Yes.
what it would be, but
Mykovs are
that
the
would be
one,
great.
the lever action one, right?
yeah, I figured there would probably be some minimum order stuff. Like you need like a larger warehouse in order to place an exclusive order with Boker.
Yeah, but there's so many dumb casual. That's still a lot of money up front. I was gonna say because
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know. I haven't checked. Let's see what the sales are right now for the hot dog warrior or whatever it's called.
They're probably gone. I'm sure they're sold
Yeah.
out.
I'm just gonna search hot dog and I assume
No,
nothing.
Wiener. Type Wiener.
Oh,
It's not the Glizzy Gladiator, which was actually its name. Yeah,
it's
gone.
sold out.
It's
so
gone.
like, I don't know what the probably minimum order for would be is a couple thousand probably.
Yeah, but there's also the visibility that Blade HQ has.
Yeah, Blade
that
HQ
comes into it. Yeah,
I don't know if they're the biggest, but that's my
they're
guess.
huge. Yeah,
They're
for
huge.
sure. But yeah, I mean, PVK today got those a knife that I've been looking to get, but haven't had a chance to. The production version of the Microtech amphibian.
Oh,
Are you familiar?
yes, the amphibian. They haven't made those in ages.
But now they brought it out with the Ramloock and stuff like that.
That's a cool one.
Dude, it is sick. But they flew out of there. They had every version, and they were just absorbed into the ether.
There are people that are crazy for Microtech, and that's a design. Jeremiah will have to correct us when the last time they made that was, but the amphibians, I remember them being from like the early 2000s.
It has to be 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Oh my god. Yeah, it basically is. They're a very cool design. So those boys.
Yeah.
It didn't quite look like that back in the day, but it was very similar.
It's definitely the proportions have changed are for the better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool ass knife.
I even like that partially serrated one.
I mean, when
it probably wouldn't be the one I would end up buying.
No.
But if someone handed me the partially serrated one, I'd be like, that's a pretty cool knife. Think about how much it's got the recurve end serrations on it. That's a lot of real estate for cutting. That's a lot of cutting edge right there.
You know what? Here's the thing. You double down, you get the plain edge one. You send it to Tom Veff.
Oh, man.
He charges you $8 per serration.
Per serrate.
Sorry, yeah, it is singular. Per serrate.
Singular, yeah.
Then,
that would look actually pretty wild.
It would be cool.
There's not enough real estate to do that. I don't understand how.
Yeah,
he finds a way though.
You know what? Jake would be very excited. 70-75 aluminum.
They do
that 60-61 bullshit.
So from what I've seen with these Ramloock ones, they do like an FRN type stuff. They do like a polymer.
Yep.
And they do aluminum and they do G10.
Okay.
So you have your pick. My choice would probably be the aluminum.
Well, they
Look
do
at this cricket that just.
Oh shit!
What the hell is he doing?
That was
pretty wild.
Yeah, that is one of the joys of being in an apartment that's at least 60, 70 years old.
A giant cricket just crawled up Dave's leg and walked onto his arm. That's why
the cat came over.
I thought he just liked me, like I'm the cat whisperer.
No, he was definitely following that cricket. Oh,
that makes sense.
Never a dull moment.
He could have. Where was he when you needed him?
Yeah, right. Come on, Benny. It's his sister is the better one at catching them.
Right.
There's this DLC carbon fiber.
But forget it. You want to see the price tag on that sucker?
Wait, what were they?
Those are still. You can probably go check on PVK right now.
Okay.
I mean, I would definitely like to have one, but the production one is just fine for me right now. Yeah, Addicted to Knives. I saw that you got one. I'm glad to see you're enjoying it. That thing it's very, very cool.
I'm trying to find a PVK result so I don't have to bring up one of the other retailers on here.
I mean, it comes up pretty quick on PVK. Yeah. I mean, believe me, I'm sure it's already cached on my phone.
I'm guessing that this is going to be more than I think it's going to be.
What are you thinking it's going to be?
I don't know how much the regular ones are. Let's say
the regular ones are like $300, right?
So the DLC, I'm going to guess it's like double. I'm going to guess it's like 600.
Okay, that's a reasonable guess.
Yeah. How much is it?
So DLC with carbon fiber. I'm going to show you the price first.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's a Marfion custom.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a custom. I thought it was a production.
It's a Marfion custom.
Oh, okay.
It's not a signature series.
Okay.
Now, if they start doing signature series of those with, with carbon fiber and some stuff, that would be really cool.
Yeah. No. Okay. So okay. I thought it was
our
$3,000 for the production.
image is distorted. Recurved blade. Is it because of the recurved blade? Maybe we just look like this, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I got bad news. This is how we look.
This is
Not
just
good.
what we look like.
Yeah. Okay. So that amphibian is very nice. I think I'll stick with the production ones.
Yeah. I mean, if money's no object, like maybe, there's certain Marfion products that I have a hard time resisting because they are pretty amazing.
This one is almost $6,000 with bronze handles, and
but look at the blade.
Yeah, that's.
I
cool.
think there were 2 SKUs of. Yeah, there were 2 SKUs of them, and I think they made them as 2 separate listings because the knife. Yeah, the blades are 2. Show these guys what this looks like.
There we go. That is some cool Damascus.
That is wild.
That is
absolutely
very
wild.
Cool Damascus.
Yeah.
Okay. I not that I have $6,000 burning a hole in my pocket, but at least you get some very cool.
I brought this knife for you to hang on to for a bit.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I love Reich.
Yeah, Reich's good, man.
Yeah, the one that you showed, the thumb stud one, the
new one.
Yeah. Ooh, this is nice. They're coming out with a new version of the lamella that I don't know, fixes something that was wrong with it. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it.
Mine, I really love the look of that knife. I haven't been able to get it centered. I need to take it apart.
Yeah, the pivot had a lot of play when it was closed. Like you can move the.
I'm sure that's by design because of the way that back strap sort of fits onto the liners. But I don't know.
This is the Reich Shadow with the infamous tip down pocket clip.
I just love posting that and people just rage about where the pocket clip is located.
Because it's part of the pivot, can you not take it off? It has to be attached to get the pivot tension right. I'm guessing that's.
I don't know. I think I think the pivot might sit a little high, but you could probably get it to work.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now I'm paranoid that there are crickets on me. Giant, terrifying spider-looking crickets.
That wasn't a spider. That was just a regular type.
Yeah,
the spider crickets are here though.
Oh yes, no,
that is a thing. They're horrible looking.
Yes, it is a distinctly Pennsylvania thing.
We already talked about Mortal Kombat. That's more of a Resident Evil style villain.
This is great. I didn't even know this was a Tanto.
The Tanto one is the one to have, man. Look at that. It's a great profile.
This is very lovely. I don't know. I have a soft spot for. Okay, so this is also, I'm guessing, this switch back here or this slide.
Yes,
so that's cause it to fall apart.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm not gonna pull that.
Did the other one have the switch on it? I don't think it did.
No,
I think this is
like
the updated
friction
one.
fit, and you had to pull it. It was
this is
scary.
the newer. This is the newer. Is the cricket back?
Nope. It was just some hair.
Maybe the cricket should be part of the Knife Nuts podcast.
Yeah, it's a prominent guest on this live stream.
What else did I bring for you?
This is very nice. Still using the goofy cursive font. I enjoy that.
I don't understand.
Is this number 69, by the way?
I think it is, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if they chose that one specifically for me, but I'm not
somehow I think that joke is lost in translation.
Oh, look, we got Pat from Wilkes-Barre.
Oh, nice. Shout out to Pennsylvania.
How are things up there?
And if you can find any lion's head in Wilkes-Barre, let me know.
I'm sure they can
not get it around here anymore.
Really? What's up with that?
I looked as soon as the first time I came back down here, I looked for lion's head.
Is it still in production, or did they?
It still exists.
You've got to be able to find it someplace. I mean, it's got to. Where did you look?
A few different beverage distributors.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this one.
So this is the new Ivan Braganitz Real Steel design. It's technically it's just a more premium version of the previously released Rocket, which was a liner lock with some micarta or G10 scales. This is based around the original custom that he drew. So it's a full titanium frame lock. These will soon be available with inlays as well.
Yeah, micarta inlays.
But I think these are $170 through Real Steel. And, they kind of do it again, didn't they?
It is very nice.
Yeah.
Am I crazy, or is this narrower than the thumb stud one? Than the front.
It might be just based on the
maybe I just
the added material to it. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. This is nice. And they're under 200, they're 170.
$170.
Yeah. And it is skeletonized titanium.
You're seeing a lot of the economy is in a weird spot, and you're seeing a lot of these companies building on the direct-to-consumer model.
Yeah, Real Steel's going that
direction. It used to be like if you went to a manufacturer's site, you wouldn't see no sales. There would never be a sale on anything. Everything would be as full price
MSRP.
And because they were trying to support their dealer network. That's really
it's basically just a showroom.
That's still kind of thing. Real Steel doesn't have the dealer penetration that a lot of the other companies do, so I think it's the right move for them.
I think Knife Center is like the only place that really carries a lot of their
and
products.
then the Europeans.
Because they're popular. I mean, the closer you are to China, the more popular the knives are.
Is that a fact?
I feel like in Russia, like Chinese knives are super popular because they get all sorts of like, I don't know, at least with Reich, they've gotten some special ones and stuff.
That's true.
And it's much quicker and cheaper to ship from China to Russia than China. Actually, maybe China to US is cheaper. But proximity, they get their Shirogorovs.
That's true.
I don't know when the last time someone brought that rumor up was.
What else do I have?
This is very nice. It like the D10 is just like it could be a little. It's not like it's weak or anything. It's just like it's kind of like when it. You
know what it is?
It doesn't. Yeah,
it's
not
got
very positive.
It's got a thicker blade and that flat grind. It's sort of heavy, so I think it just doesn't hold it as strongly as it could. It also doesn't have very much lock bar pressure.
No, that's the thing. That's what I'm noticing. It's very light.
I'm perfectly fine with the action on that. I don't have any problem.
I think the action is quite nice. I mean, it's definitely nice. I just prefer more lock bar tension, but still really good. I mean, people are going to like that. People like the drop shotty thing, right? So
that's really what it comes down to. Let's see what else do I have in here. I've got a lot of stuff. Oh, have you seen this? The Aloney knife?
No, I almost bought one of these myself though because I really like it. My problem is I have not handled it. I have not liked an Axl knife, well, ever, frankly. That's pretty.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it is. It's got more of a detent than I remember Benchmade's having.
I think this is far superior.
Yeah,
and look how slim it is in the titanium compared to some of the stuff they used to do. The contouring is perfect. On that
I really like
it's the little details on this.
Yep, the contouring into the pivot clip. I mean, into the pivot clip.
The pivot clip.
The pocket clip is quite nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, carbon fiber backspacer. Haven't seen one of those in a while. That's nice.
It's they don't have to do it. They could make it a G10 and no one would bat an eye, but there it is in carbon fiber. Ooh, Addicted to Knives says the Cybertrix is a cool looking Reich.
Yes.
The Cybertrix to me is a direct from King Freeman X as the designer of that knife. And I got one when he was selling them directly, so I don't ever consider that one a Reich. But now I guess it is.
Wait, is the designer?
Remember that one that
the Cybertrix?
Like I had it 2 years ago at Blade Show. Yeah.
It's crazy looking. Wait, was that designed by someone that's not in China, or is that?
I'm sure he's in China.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
But he does some pretty wild designs.
I thought it was an anonymous design. I thought it was like
King Freeman X. Does that sound like a name?
It sounds like Western a power metal.
Yeah. It does. A little prog version.
Yeah, King Freeman
like
X.
King's X.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yes.
King's X.
Yes.
This is very nice, and I cannot get, at least sitting down, get the blade to come out by.
No, you're not going to.
Which is my biggest issue with most Axl slots.
I said this in the last time I posted that knife. It's my ideal type of carry knife.
Yeah.
I like knives that are a little larger, but also thin and somewhat lightweight. So you're just getting the best. It carries very, very well. That's why I like some of the Shirogorovs too, because they have that same
exactly.
That same profile.
I've sort of settled into I don't carry anything with a blade length longer than 3.75 inches anymore, or even usually like 3.5 is usually now where I max out.
3 3/4 is my ideal, but I'll go with a 4-inch knife. No problem.
Yeah, I used to, and I just found if I look at what I actually carry, it is large Sebenza.
I mean, nothing. It's all relative too, because if you're carrying an SNG or something like that, you're getting all of the bad parts of having a gigantic knife, but without
no blade length.
With no blade length. So
have you seen how fast the factory series still sell? It's crazy. They're still being made by Medford. No, they're made by not Medford.
They're not made by Medford. No.
I don't know. People are saying they're either made by Medford or one of those other. The company starts with a T. They're an American-made knife company.
Does anyone know?
Tour, T-O-O-R.
Oh, Tour Knives.
I think people say that the SMFs are made by Tour Knives now, but they're like $900 now, I think, and they sell
instantly.
Yeah.
The tour knives I've handled before, and there's potential there. They're in-house designs. They are basically like very Sebenza-like in construction, but have like these wonky recurved blades. It looks like something that like a new knife enthusiast would draw in their
Everyone's first knife drawing has recurves.
Yeah, it's true. That's
just
what
always,
it is.
if you want to make a blade look cool, you add a recurve.
That's definitely what's going on there.
Ooh, I really like this.
But they're a little better than old Striders used to be. But
yeah,
I don't know. I haven't handled any of the new Strider products. So
honestly,
it could be different.
Pretty smart. McStrider is probably just collecting some sort of royalty check or something.
Yeah,
and,
I
doesn't have to run a company.
I think I'm not quite sure how that company is structured now. I don't know if Marissa is running most of it or whatever.
They're certainly not making them anymore.
It's none of my business.
Yeah, they're certainly not making them anymore. But this is very nice. Who does Riot do this?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know who makes, but this is very nice. I like this a lot more than I expected because I have a long-standing hatred of the Axis lock, and this does not bother me.
Yeah, I don't remember. He did tell me at one point who he was using, but I can't remember.
That is my guess. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, it could be any of the good ones. I don't think it's we, but I could be wrong.
Is it Tuya? I don't know.
Oh, I haven't handled enough of their stuff to like.
Tuya's got some crazy stuff coming out. He's doing this integral out of that crystallized titanium.
That's going to be expensive.
Which is ridiculous.
I guess, I was going to say, I guess if you order it in a large enough quantity, maybe it won't be expensive, but that stuff seemed temperamental when Brian was working with it.
I thought he's done a couple recently that have turned out really, really nice.
Yeah. Let me find a picture. Those are amazing.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not, but Brian got the prototypes for the, what is it? The mini chicane. The mini chicane.
Chicanery.
So those are built by Besttech. So it's going to be a different sort of ride than what you're used to with the Riot build stuff. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, crystallized titanium. The shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's very hard to describe to people because that pattern is the material.
Yeah, it looks like a finish.
You could cut it in half and you would see the same sort of crystallized pattern.
Yeah, it was that's sort of like maybe like the chipped ice stuff that Beg was doing. But,
no, it looks like that on the surface. But that's literally just a surface treatment.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the full.
Yeah, like we did a high polished. They did this integral way back. I bought one off of.
I remember it.
Yeah, yeah.
That finish was amazing.
Yep, it was the Wii 812.
Yep.
And I bought it off of Adam, and yeah, it had the same finish, but that was a finish.
That
did not go all the way.
That was a beautiful finish.
Yeah.
That was like a vapor honed anodized thing.
Yeah, the Wii.
Philly area, man.
Like 3 miles. Yeah. The Wii Knives 812. Underrated knife. I still have it. I don't think I've ever probably haven't carried it in a million years. Maybe it's not the 812. Maybe it's the 712 or something. I don't know.
Wii Knives is putting out a bunch of knives now that look very similar to a lot of their old designs.
Yeah.
It looks like they're going forward by going backward.
Yeah.
I could say the same thing about the new Spyderco catalog too.
Oh my, yeah. We should go. I would say we should go over the new Spyderco catalog, but I think they said this was their biggest drop ever.
There's a lot of stuff
there's a lot of stuff in there. And there is, I think, 0 new designs.
There's one big new design, but you would have looked past it because it looks just like every other Spyderco.
Oh, the Shaman, the one that's
not a shaman.
Yeah.
But the Shaman was also basically a, what do you call it?
A native. Yeah, it was just a bigger native.
So this is now something sort of
a
more streamlined Shaman.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, the one thing I really do like is the new Tenacious in M4. CPM M4. I don't know. Like,
oh yeah,
it's $130. I mean, it's just a Spyderco Tenacious, but it's in CPM.
What world are we in now where a Tenacious costs $130?
Yeah, that one. It is Brown G10 with CPM M4.
Oh my! What are they doing to us?
What have they?
What have they done to us? Yeah, $130 for a Tenacious. That was like a $40 knife.
It really was. Spyderco has lost me so many years ago, and I just am unenthused. I don't know.
$140 for a Tenacious? You got to be a psychopath to buy that.
I mean, I was considering it, but I just like.
Who are those dudes on Instagram that are always like posting the Spyderco stuff? what's his name?
There's PM2 OG. I remember that guy.
Oh yeah, no, that guy's
I think he's a meme guy.
Yeah, he's a meme guy, but also is like anti, anything made in other than the United States.
Yeah,
that's what he is. That's fine. It's a good way to narrow down what you collect.
Yeah, actually, at this point, taking a random stance like that is
it's good. It's better for your wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
In the long run,
you got to draw a line somewhere.
But Thomas Moore, isn't that his name? One of the guys. He's got he posts all the stuff that That's even that I sometimes see his post before I even see it on Spyderco. So.
I feel like I don't follow anyone.
Louis is a psycho. He just admitted it. He bought the He bought the $130
Tenacious. I mean, I considered it.
I
came very close to
in Louis' defense. A lot of that price is in the blade steel.
Yeah, and then the other price is in whatever Spyderco does to remain in business.
Right. I mean, you can't fault the Tenacious as an actual working knife because it's hard to do better.
It's just the.
I want to know if the chaps were already green or they made them green in the stock photo so that you could manipulate them in some way, because I've never seen lime green rodeo chaps. Not that I've seen too many rodeo chaps to begin with, but
Yeah, I kind of want to put into one of the generative AI algorithms and ask it to make a Spyderco catalog photo. What it comes up with, because I hope it comes up with.
I'm gonna do that right now. You keep that right there. Let me see what I can do in one of my AI apps. Let's see. It'll probably destroy my battery, but let's see what happens.
You know what? I don't know what to do with Spyderco releases anymore. One of the comments is they're dropping some heat, except everything is in MagnaCut, and MagnaCut is overrated or overhyped. So what is that? That is just. I don't even know what to make of that. I mean, it's just they have an established fan base, and it's keeping them in business, and they're one of the few domestic knife manufacturers at this point. But I saw this reel the other day, which was them advertising the Southern, and this made me have one of those my spine cracked, and the LSD made me have a flashback to when this came out, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, Spyderco's first flipper." They're still making it.
No,
a decade later.
No,
yeah, they're advertising the Southern still. I mean, not the hideous one with
the Southern is basically
scale.
One of the considered one of the first mainstream production flippers.
Yeah, titanium frame lock flippers, really super hyped.
I just asked AI to build a Spyderco catalog, and this is what I got. So it's kind of a mess.
Not goofy enough.
No, not goofy enough. I'll work on it.
The Southern was actually not good. Didn't flip well, and was just a weird knife altogether. But Brad Southern had a lot of hype at that point.
Yeah, he was the guy.
What happened to him? I'm gonna see if he is around.
I think he's part of one of the production companies that's out there right now.
Yeah, because I've not heard from Brad Southern Knives in a long time.
Yeah, Tom Moore, the top admin of the Millie Club. The Spyderco Facebook.
We all got to obsess over something. Okay,
I respect it.
Southern last posted in May of this year, so he is not totally out of the knife game. I just was not sure where he went. You know
who's trying to sneak back into the knife game?
Will Moon. Yeah, I guess we can talk about that email.
No, we can't.
No, actually, it's not.
We definitely can't.
He will never stop. It's just pathological. It's his personality. He'll never change.
It's just he's. I hope he's doing well.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Not making knives is probably the best thing he can do for himself
right
now.
Yes.
Let's see. Is there? Let me find something else in the.
I know.
Oh, this is a fucking trip. The ZT350 is coming out in MagnaCut.
How?
Because this knife will never die.
I can't.
It is a ZT0350,
Louis,
which has been out for 14 years.
I'll let the what was it? The M4 Tenacious go. Please don't buy a MagnaCut 0350.
Yeah.
We're beyond that as a species.
I can tell you that knife has not changed, and you could just buy any of them, and it will feel exactly the same. It is wild.
He just goes, okay.
That's good.
That's a good.
All right. I have not seen the Cold Steel 5 Max, but I know exactly what it's going to be, judging by the name, which is just going to be an even bigger 4 Max. And
is that like a 5 head? If someone has a 4 head, you get a 5 head.
Yeah, except for the 5 head is referring to the size of the fucking handle on this thing.
Oh, dude, I kind of love that actually. Oh my god, it's 450.
Of course it is.
That's a lot.
I mean, I'm sure this one's one.
What
of
happened to cold steel? What are they doing to us? What
it's
is
S35 VN. Okay. Is it made in Italy though?
S35 VN. That's like budget steel by this point.
It is. It truly is like budget steel at this point.
This $170 knife has S35 VN.
Yeah. I mean, you can get, there was that what is the LA police company flipper from China that's S35 VN for $35. The 5 Max is just my problem is that like does anyone no one needs this, right? Like it's a silly knife that's for fun.
Nobody needs any of this.
But the aesthetics of it, just when you make a giant blade, the handle has to be even bigger and it looks so goofy to me.
So you have tremendous reach.
Yes, yeah, so you can choke back.
You have tremendous reach.
You can choke back and you can and then I don't know, you can choke back and
you can choke back.
There. Yeah,
exactly. Or you can choke up
for detail work. Choke up for detail work.
For detail work.
There actually was a knife.
Israel's here. Say hi.
Oh,
Arcane Design is in the house.
What is Israel's most recent knife? Not the Crypt.
He just did another run of the Plexus, and there were some.
They look wonderful.
He's making me want to take mine apart and do some crazy anodizing to those things.
Those are great. And it keeps Elijah's memory alive, which is cool.
It's I consider it his swan song.
It's a really cool knife. Why am I forgetting it's the Creature. The Creature is awesome, and I quite like that one. So keep up the good work, Israel.
Yes, absolutely.
This is a random knife that I gotta find it. Have you seen these new production daggers from Beg Knives?
Yeah, absolutely. I should have one soon. And the fixed blade you're talking about, right? Yeah, it's incredible.
There's 6-inch and 8-inch.
The entire new Beg lineup is very cool.
There's some like production cheap glimpses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know what they call this thing, so I'm just gonna search Beg Dagger on Knife Center and hope it comes up. Yeah, here we go. Steelcraft Series Filoso.
$108 for that?
Yeah. It's also only like $6 more for the one that's 8 inches.
Yeah, that's the one to go with.
Yeah, it's AUS 10, which is fine because this is like a novelty knife. You're never going to use this in your life.
Louis, go get one of these, man.
But it looks very nice. I mean, it's got double hollow ground dagger. They're plastic scales, like it's Bolteron or injection molded or whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
But like it's a goofy knife. You're not going to go knife fight anybody. This isn't World War II.
I mean, you might.
You don't need your
We're
Fairbar
almost at World War III. Why not?
True. If you need your sort of Fairbar Sykes replica. But it comes in a bunch of different finishes, and
they're very good. I've handled them, and Mark's been teasing that he's going to send me one soon. So
it's only $100, and it's $10.95 if you get the coated ones.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay, well I know they've already sold out in a couple of colors, so that is a good sign. Yeah, these are really cool. Like I have no need for this, but it is dope.
Choke out.
No, you need to choke up for
the detail
work.
It's for the details.
That's a great great video from Cedric Caneda. Choke up for detail work. It's one of his like weird sort of like David Lynch sort of videos.
Lynchian.
Yeah, it's very Lynchian. Choke up for detail work. Let's see, Cold Steel Mayhem.
What's the Cold Steel? Is it a black metal knife? Let's see.
Okay.
It is kind of a black metal knife.
It's this other gigantic sort of cleaverish knife.
I mean, I kind of like it.
It's big. It's Cold Steel doing Cold Steel stuff.
So there's a Cold Steel that
There's
a Cold Steel
that
I want.
10.
Okay. So there's a Cold Steel I want on PVK.com right now. It's part of their custom series. So PVK does a lot of in-house custom stuff. They do anodizing, lasers. They even do gold plating.
Interesting.
So you could have like a knife gold plated, which is pretty rad. Do Cold Steel on there.
I thought Cold Steel was beneath Jeremiah.
No, it's not beneath anyone.
It writes the. I mean,
they still have one. Keep going.
Cold Steel certainly brings in the shekels.
It's a Talwar, but it's a custom Talwar. Did someone buy it? No.
You have to go into the back end.
No.
Does PVK show out of stock?
Just search Talwar.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this. It's good for spooky season too.
Oh, okay.
You guys are gonna love it, I promise. Streamed on Potato. That's all you, G Dilla.
Or were the potatoes? Yeah,
I guess it's sold. Damn.
Is it on the PVK?
I don't know. It was on
Instagram.
the news. I put it in the newsletter.
Oh, I wonder if I have that then. Let me see if it's on the Instagram. But I'm guessing it was a cool Talwar. You're apparently just gonna have to describe it.
It had Pac-Man stuff all over it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was good. There's no way what I'm saying to you is going to, do it any justice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's unfortunate. I wanted to see that.
What else do I have?
I do like Halloween knives. Let me see. Plaza Cutlery, who is closing.
They always used to do something, right?
They had 2 this year.
Microtech did them too. So
they had this ProTech one, which just has a laser of a skull on it, which is not that cool. But they're the Spartan Blade Works one with a haunted house lasered into the handle. You're never gonna be able to see
I like to see a little more color with that stuff, though.
Yeah.
Custom EDC knives. How are you? Everything's going well here.
Let me see. They also had I think they had Halloween Sabenza this year, and it's probably the last Halloween Sabenza.
Microtech pulled out a whole bunch of Halloween stuff that they only sold again direct to consumer.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of people are moving towards it. Maybe we should do that on the actual podcast.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
That is unfortunate for dealers, and
dealers will still have their place.
Yeah,
because there's always a lot of these companies wouldn't exist without having the dealers.
And at some point, who knows if they're going to want to actually scale up to have there's
certainly room for
department that is just sending out knives to customers.
There's room for both.
It's easier to ship pallets, I imagine, than it is to ship one knife at a time if you're one of those big companies.
That could be true.
I have no idea, but
one certainly cost does come into play. But well, this is a fun thing. Does anybody have any questions? We can do that.
We can.
There's only 16 people. There's 16 people in here for
it's not bad
the
for
sake of
random Thursday night.
For a random Thursday night YouTube test.
Yeah.
So let's see.
What's in the rest of?
Oh, there's a deadlock in there.
Oh,
just a deadlock.
Which is this one of the 2023. Okay, so this is one of the newest ones, right?
This is one of the for Blade Show in Atlanta. He did this with the marble carbon fiber.
Yep, and the titanium, which they got bullied into using.
I think at the end of the day now, Gavin has pivoted to saying he prefers working with the titanium. That 77.5 aluminum, whereas a great material, was very difficult to work with on a production level.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This makes such an interesting sound when it retracts.
Yes.
It's like, it's an interesting sound.
What will replace Ultim as the fad material of the year? So I have a couple theories on this, actually. So there's a couple things. There are a couple materials that I want to see used more. I think G10 is going to make a comeback.
That is, we got to have like a futures betting system where you can bet on what
G10 is just a wonderful material. It's very versatile. It can do a lot of stuff.
If it's finished right,
I think there's going to be a new plateau for G10.
Yeah, I think G10 that has not been highly polished and is bead blasted actually looks really nice. It gives it this like really nice texture. I only remember like custom makers doing that, but like bead blasted matte looking G10.
And I'm talking about in like a more like Brian did a couple of the anniversary Typhoon, the Typhoon 10s, and they had G10 inlays, and those things felt so awesome. It just felt right. Yeah, it's very pure. Mm-hmm. I always say that like you can always tell a knife design is good if it works in simple materials.
Yeah, that's as simple as it gets, basically.
Because everybody's trying to put the most swirly, twirly stuff or translucent, futuristic stuff, which works in a lot of cases, but a lot of times it detracts from a design.
Yeah, I feel like we've run out of swirly, twirly thing. Like, what else can you make swirly, twirly at this point?
Okay, so
every G10, every carbon fiber has been made.
So the swirly, twirly stuff I think Forite or some other type of layered acrylic or enamel is going to become very popular again.
I feel like those are very polarizing. People hated there were people who vocally hated Forite, but I don't know.
I think the market is ripe for it right now. I mean, look at how ugly some of these carbon fiber combinations are.
Yeah,
I really doesn't do anything for me.
I just don't get why Mokume is not a bigger like inlay material.
I think it's expensive.
It's definitely expensive,
and it does
because it's copper.
Correct.
And
so
it doesn't to machine. I'm guessing as well.
There's less benefits to it than many other things.
Epoxy impregnated AstroTurf.
Yeah. So the thing with the crystal knives is, so when I was doing those, obviously they're in Russia, so that's a little bit tricky. They had ways of getting them to me directly from the manufacturer, but the problem with that is the cost. So what I would have to sell them for to make that make sense is absolutely insane. And I know I want a couple of those models too. It's not completely off the table, but if there's a way to do it economically, I'd be happy to do it. However, I do have I mean, God knows when they're going to show up, but a few months ago, I put the deposit for a 50-piece run of the Arcona. What's that knife called?
The nettle?
Not the nettle. The other one. The one that's got the inner frame lock.
Oh, the one that was
the knife that I brought here, and I can't remember the name.
The one that was designed in collaboration with GTC, or uses the GTC.
That's correct. It's designed. It's a collab between GTC and Ivan Braganets.
This is bad.
What the hell is it called? Buran.
Yeah, the Buran.
So I'll have an exclusive version of that coming with.
Oh, nice.
So there were a lot of options. Speaking of that swirly twirly carbon fiber.
Yeah.
There was a big push for me to use some of that from Ivan and the manufacturers. Like, I can't stand the look of that on a knife that's very geometric looking.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, hard straight lines with swirlies does not work.
So I opted for a good classic marbled carbon fiber, which will give you that bit of shimmer, but still that exact material.
Oh, okay.
So it will be a little less. It'll be more subtle.
Yeah.
And there's never been a carbon fiber version of the Buran, so I want to do a carbon fiber front scale and a purple backspacer similar to that. So it'll have a different look with the stonewash blade and stuff like that. So it'll be pretty cool looking.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh yeah, epoxy impregnated AstroTurf. Let me tell you this: when I first started getting into knives, there was like a lot of these makers were joking around by trying to put whatever they could find into some acrylic or epoxy and make an inlay of it. There was one that he shredded up cash, just straight up money,
cool.
and put it into some acrylic and used it to make inlays. I think somebody also did their cat's fur or something wild like that.
Honestly, that is an untapped. I mean, like obviously that can't be produced on like a mass scale, but like cool stuff impregnated in resin is I've
also like for modern stuff, milling it can be a problem.
Yeah,
so that's really the big issue.
Like the pine cone knife handles are like my favorite. Knife scales are like one of my favorite things. It's just like a piece of pine cone inlaid in resin. It kind of looks like a spine. It's almost kind of gross.
Again,
looking.
On more organic type of I think that looks way better on like a handmade fixed blade. Than on like a modern folder.
Yeah, because they also need like it needs to be a certain size to really be able to see the pattern. I mean, but that stuff has always some of those weird inlaid into resin materials have always gotten to me.
That's right.
But yeah, I don't think there'd be.
Chase is asking what the biggest surprise of the year for us was. For me,
it's a better person to ask.
I will say this is one of my favorite knives of the year. The what is this called? It's the Goat AXL. Aloney Knives Goat XL. AXL.
AXL.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a great folding knife. But I wasn't too surprised by the fact that I liked it. I just like it more than I thought. However, there is another knife that I just received that I am and you didn't pull it out of here.
Wait, did I miss it? Oh, I didn't even see it. Yeah.
So this is the Flytanium Arcade. All right.
It's a very non-threatening name.
I've seen Flytanium sort of grow from their days of just making like balisong scales and things like that. Now they're making their own knife. So here it is. This one's a little customized because one of the coolest things they're doing is they're offering a whole bunch of different materials that you can just sort of make the knife your own, So this has magenta titanium and stuff in it. Cool. It's an aluminum frame, which I actually love. That's another material I think that should come back. Purple thumb studs, but it also has the shark lock. So it has the Dumo Knife shark lock.
It is. I mean, they basically have guaranteed themselves a certain number of sales.
And using a this one has sort of flown under the radar a little bit. The first run sold pretty quickly, but it was a smaller run, and I think they are just now restocking. I think they're like 200 and some, so they're pretty affordable.
That's not bad. And also I have not handled a shark lock knife. I've handled what was the lock in between the shark lock and that triad lock?
Man, that one where you lifted it. I had the prototype.
Yeah, that one was that. This is like not stiff or difficult to use at all. This is like such an amazing improvement on over the triad lock, for example. Ooh, this is nice.
Yeah, and it comes with
the purple is very nice.
Yeah, I just me, I'm an idiot when it comes to stuff. So it normally has just spacers, and then you can get back spacer for it, matching hardware. And they just texted me today, said they've got a whole bunch of other new stuff coming from. So this is a knife that you can keep fresh for a long period of time. I also love that it's just got a standard deep carry pocket clip on it. Just really, really practical knife. This is the shadow version. I think that, I don't know what, it's got some, it's like it's an all blacked out look name. It's Stealth or something like that. But there's like you can get it with a stonewash blade. You can get it with, a gray handles and a micarta inlay. So there's way less wild ways of getting this knife too.
Oh, Scorpion lock. That was the one that was in between. Unlike the 8015.
Yep. Thank you, Chase. Yeah, that was definitely what that was.
Yep. Dumo knives, I've never bought any of them because not really my style, but that is cool. That one's actually like much more usable.
Yeah.
I like how they've gotten, like his locks are just getting more and more usable.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like if you just hold it like that, it looks like it could be like a bug out or something.
Yeah.
Like the blade. And it's basically like a more fun bug out. It's a little heavier than a bug out, obviously, but that's what you get.
And it doesn't cost whatever Benchmade wanted for that carbon fiber bug out, $600 or whatever.
That's right. Rich asked when we're getting more podcasts. I mean, we're here right now talking to you. But that's happening. There's a lot going on, as always. Getting 4 adults together on a single evening is. You also have to be in the right mindset. You know what I mean?
It should be easier to do.
It should be easier,
and it is not. It's somehow more difficult than you think.
Adults, yeah, we definitely use that term loosely.
Especially with Jake.
Right. So it's just everybody's got a lot going on. We're still around. No one's going anywhere. We all still love doing it. Yeah. And at one point, we did consider it like, is it time for us to like stop doing this? But we all still enjoy it so much, and you guys are always so supportive. So even if we put out a little bit here and there,
it'll never die.
It's better than never. You know?
Before every single episode, Brian used to be like, "We should
Brian has been. He says that.
He says that.
And
but he's always the one that
he absolutely loves it.
He
definitely loves it. So.
Brian has always puts up the most shit about how we should stop because we're not doing it enough.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm just so I feel like I don't contribute. Dude, shut up.
And then everyone loves him.
But we do. I think you're definitely at least going to get us, Dave and I, each month doing something like this. And the podcast in its old form, we're going to focus more on the audio experience like we used to. So very old school. It's just easier for us to get into character for that kind of thing than it is to get us all looking at a screen for a very long time.
Yeah.
But you'll see it come back probably within the next week. And don't forget, if you're not part of our Patreon, we're going to be giving away serial number 0 of the KMP Voodoo. With a set of these, also an extra set of these yellow Ultim scales along with that. So if you join the China D2 for you tier, that's how you enter. It's $25 a month, but you get a KMP goodie bag just for entering, which is much to my chagrin. I packing some goodie bags, but I'm happy to do it for everybody. So you get some stickers. Even if you don't win, you get some cool stuff.
Nice.
And that drawing for that will be on Halloween. I might ask you to do a little Instagram live with me that day,
That should be fine.
And we'll do
I'll be around.
And we'll do the drawing.
Yep.
Let's see. Jonathan, hi, how are you, man? And we've got, seems like Jake is hard to get on the podcast. Jake is hard to get to do anything.
Jake is an elusive.
He is his own creature. But I will cut him some slack. He's going through some stuff right now, some family stuff, and that definitely is going to take up a lot of his time.
Although he's very enthusiastic.
But however, I think once he comes out of this, he's going to have a lot more control of his time, and he can do a lot of. He's very excited to be.
He made a knife. He
did make a knife. He's channeling his emotions and putting them into physical media.
We were off by about 4 years on when he would make his first knife.
I think I think I was right on.
I think I tried to be optimistic and say he'd make one by the end of the year, in the year where he got his grinder. And that, so I was off, but I was trying to be nice. Brian was just like, never.
For a while, like he had the grinder and he was just sort of feeding things to it. Just finding something, just like, yeah. I mean, to be honest, that's what I'd do if I had one. But
Yeah. No, it'll be good to get Jake back. He says he has lots of knife thoughts. Which is good because he's got a film for me because I've been neglecting knives lately.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm out of it. I think the only 2 knives I bought this year are 2 Sabenzas.
Well, I'll leave some of these here for you to play with. When do you go back to?
Sunday or Monday.
Sunday? Right.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, you're close enough to where even if I leave some of my other stuff here, I can just pick it up.
Yeah.
But
or I'll just mail it to you.
Yeah, one of the 2. So let's see. We got Jonathan is asking any new knives you guys are excited for. In terms of
the mini chicane,
Brian has some cool stuff on the mini chicane. I like it. That's a cool knife. I'm excited for it. I have a custom one, so I'm being,
Yeah, I don't have a custom one, so I'm extremely excited. The chicane.
But, however, the other knife.
Oh, the like Hawkbilly one.
Yeah. What did we give it a name?
I don't think Brian's been posting pictures of it.
He's been doing some drawings of it with aspirations on.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to go.
I don't know if he has a name for it yet.
I'm gonna have
this thing.
I'm gonna have to get it a name.
Very aggressive looking.
I think it's
very murdery.
Awesome. What else? Hold on.
This new Enrique Pena knife that just Enrique.
The Serges Knives Rook. Someone just asked if it's as cool as it looks. It's cooler.
It's very cool.
It is spectacular. I have never had my expectations exceeded more on a knife than it has been with this thing. He really knocked it out of the park. If you can find a way to get one, you should do it. That's really what I say. Serge has a new production knife that just came out the other day. It looks kind of like it's melty, but also awesome at the same time.
Let's see. Oh,
that's not it.
He apparently. I love how Serge is an actual knife collector.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the best thing.
The first thing on his Instagram was a Microtech, but this thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So is this production or is this custom?
It's a production knife.
Oh, cool. It's always good to see Serge making.
Is that it? I don't know if that's it. I think
that looks like custom.
That might be the custom. That's the production.
There's that production. Yeah. Same design.
Same design. Little just proportions are different.
Damascus blade or no hamon.
And you'll see the blade's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
If he decides to open it. Yeah, you see it's a
wacky Serge knife, but
I like that.
Yeah, it's
simple, relatively, but then also clearly a Serge design.
Very clearly designed from him. This Enrique Pena knife that comes out tomorrow, so I guess I'm looking forward to it because it comes out tomorrow.
It is a nice
Sicario.
It is a nice looking knife.
Let me just find it.
I give him props for doing something a little
this static,
stepping out of his comfort zone there.
It's a front flipper. It's very slim. I like it quite a bit. I think that one looks really nice.
I have some other stuff.
And what is another one? There's a Real Steel. I talked about it right at the beginning, or maybe it was when we were off air. There's a new Real Steel that's coming out from Stop Hell. The bottom one here, the RB7. I think that's a cool looking. The Barlow. It's also a front flipper. It's got a wire clip. I like that one. I'm looking forward to that one. Not looking forward to their like 10-year anniversary knife, which is this thing.
I'm actually into that.
That looks like one of
It reminds me of like the old, yeah.
It looks like their first things.
I want one.
Yeah, and it's got the weird wave.
The squiggle lock.
Yeah,
show them
the
that.
Squiggle lock bar.
That takes me back to old school Knife Nuts podcast right there.
Yeah.
So a knife that I've been carrying and is just now ramping up production. I've been carrying since like last December. Is the Hawk Knife shortcut. This is the prototype here, and I've literally carried it almost. It's just always near me. Even if I'm not carrying it for the day, it's on my coffee table or something. Just fun to play with. He just did his first large pre-order for these.
Nice.
This past, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. Did any of you guys get in on that? I think he just did a deposit, but they're like $300, and you get like it's technically a in-house built Hawk.
That is not that. You know what's really funny? So the what is that one called again?
Shortcut.
The shortcut. The shortcut is very cool and actually does all that stuff. So like one of the hobbies that I've sort of maybe been focusing more my energy into is like I don't know, heritage clothing. It's just like I don't know, well built jackets,
vintage denim.
No, luckily I haven't gotten into denim. I'm too used to like destroying my pockets from pocket clips. So I won't.
You have the look. Let's just put it that way.
But so there's this company in Portland called Ship John that makes jackets and leather goods. But they came out with a similar kind of thing, which is just a utility knife holder.
Yeah.
It's made of brass. It's made by for some company. It's made of brass, and they wanted $300, and
Oh my God!
It's $300.
I was going to say
freaked out in Instagram.
I'm sure he's going to show it to you, but I first looked at it. I was like, you know what? That doesn't look absolutely horrible. But then it's like you can get I mean, maybe you can't get a shortcut, but the retail price of a shortcut is $300.
Yeah, so you could get this. It's just brass, and it holds a
straight razor.
Yeah, and it holds a straight razor. That's it. It's $300, and the pre-order is sold out because this company has so much hype behind it.
Utility knife, not necessarily straight.
So I think I would take the shortcut over it, even though
I think it's
like
a better investment.
John.
Better investment,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you sign up for the Hawk Knives newsletter, anytime he does the pre-order, I'm sure it's not like the deadlock where you commit like your mortgage payment to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you notice this the other day? I wasn't paying attention to it because I'm not going to buy a deadlock, or maybe it was the shortcut pre-order. There was like 3 emails in rapid succession because something went wrong.
Yeah, it's like oh God, sorry. Yeah, this is the real one. I promise. Kind of like us trying to start a live stream.
Yeah, exactly. I can't hate on them. It was just funny to get all those emails in quick succession.
Jonathan does bring up a good point. I'm glad he did bring it up. But the price of some current Benchmates,
God, it's out of control.
Specifically the titanium bailout. And you brought that up too, didn't you?
I posted on Instagram when I saw it on Play HQ. I just feel simultaneously bad for
they have not figured out the direct to consumer thing.
No, they really haven't.
No.
They have such a built-up dealer network. They can never switch to direct-to-consumer. But $600, like they just know that they're just going to get absolutely hammered in the comments, and they just don't even respond. Which, like, I guess is a valid strategy, but also like listening to customers is a valid strategy.
Thing. They still have everyone that goes to the gun range thinking that that's the pinnacle. Of production knives.
Dude, it's bad.
So everybody who's like, who goes to the mom and pop gun range, they see that Benchmade in the case. That's the one to have there. It's a Benchmade knife.
This part is so true.
And I like Benchmade. I do.
It's so true. The knives that get sold at Huckberry, for example, that's like a different demographic, but it's like those are the same people who will pay full retail for a Benchmade because they think somebody with good taste has curated that choice.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the other side of it. They've got that. The designer EDC, what do you call it, hipster, convinced that that's grade A number one knives, and the gun people think that's as good as you get.
Yep.
So they maybe they do know what they're doing.
Yeah, Benchmade. They wouldn't have been around this long. But yeah, Benchmade bailouts are on Huckberry too for like $200 or the regular ones for whatever full retail price is, and people are buying them.
Yeah, he's right. Like Cabela's, all that stuff.
Yeah,
pretty,
but it's just the $600 is just like offensive.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it used to be it was just the gold class.
The gold class was at least
everyone
cool.
It was cool. It was,
but it was
weird,
also a collective joke.
It was. No one took the gold class very seriously. I owned a few.
It was always just like, how much higher can the next gold class price be?
So it was funny. A lot of the dealer cost of a gold class is actually pretty low. So the it's a lot of markup. But so what would happen was a lot of smaller dealers, because if you had a storefront, you could become a Benchmade dealer.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Did you have to have a brick and mortar? Or
yes, you have to have a brick and mortar to be,
that's
at
very
least
cool.
at least at a certain level. I can't remember. I do believe that is the case, that you have to have a brick and mortar to be a licensed Benchmade dealer. You can sell Benchmades otherwise, but in order to be a full-fledged Benchmaden, you that's the case. But they would use Benchmade gold class stuff to barter for other stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty interesting.
Well, you got to order 1,000 of these mini Griptilians in order to get 1 or 2 gold class.
Or like someone comes in with like even say you're at like a gun shop or something. It's like, here, we'll do this trade and I'll throw in a Benchmade gold class, and they end up with like a $10,000 1911 or something. Yeah. So who knows? It's definitely a tactic I've seen used a couple times.
Yeah, and I mean, Benchmade doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So.
No, and I don't want them to go.
As much as we speculate about their bizarre choices, they still sell so many of their cheaper knives.
Yeah,
that it's clearly not affecting them.
One of the knives that I do want from them, I still think one of the worst production OTFs is the Infidel. I hate that knife.
Stand by that.
However, the Shootout seems to be a pretty good one. To me, I think of the Benchmade Shootout as the OTF equivalent of the Bug Out. So that's got the polymer scales and stuff like that. It comes in all sorts of wacky colors.
Oh,
does anyone in here have a Benchmade Shootout?
The problem is
it's got a very bad name for today's world.
I'm guessing it's quite expensive.
It's actually not.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, let me see how much this one on pvk.com is. $300.
Yeah, something around. I think they even go. I think they even go lower than that.
There are so many people making OTFs now, and I think we brought it up before that. I guess nobody cares about the import laws, and now there's just a million different Chinese OTFs coming out. So like,
I want to show this one, but I forgot what the name of the brand is. So.
Exactly.
So give me
one.
No,
is that one American?
Yes, it is. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, someone said they like theirs, but it's so light it feels cheap. Heretic or Axial? There we go. Axial. That's a new company.
This is one of the Zach in the Wild.
Yeah, it's
Axial.
Right?
Zach. This was, I think it was just before Blade Show. Zach was like, "Dude, I got something cool. I'm sending him." I'm like, "All right, what is it?" And I opened it. I was like, "Holy shit, that's awesome!" Am I allowed to curse now? Right on here after a certain amount of time. So he did this like co-branded Axial Shift. I think it's called the Shift. And this brand came a long way because I handled a couple of their original products. From what I understood, the frames were machined by one company and the blades were machined by another. I think Axial specifically machined the blades, but there were some problems with fitment and things like that. This current one, I'm really impressed with. I've really enjoyed carrying it. You can see it's scratched and beat up, but I've enjoyed it.
This sounds like drama. We want our Medford OTFs ordered last December.
Oh,
I'm out of the loop. I didn't even know that Medford was making an OTF.
I didn't know about that either.
They're not a company to run off with your money, so I am kind of surprised by that. I mean, Greg Medford is many things, but I've never heard about them stealing, but there's always a first.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no. I don't. I'm sure people will get there. I haven't seen. What does this look like?
What does Jeremiah think of these? I like these.
I sent it to Jeremiah for a while. I never got his feedback actually. No.
Oh, okay.
But that's why I sent it to him. I was
thinking because my problem is the Microtechs, and I have was it Pussy Hands?
Oh,
the phrase?
The Merc one.
And the true downs and stuff are just like agonizing to operate sometimes.
This looks kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yikes.
Yeah, well, hopefully they come out. I would be surprised if yeah, not great machining.
Look at the chatter.
Yeah. I mean, that shit's
all right. So
more chattery than us, but
this is not a fantastic example of an OTF in my opinion. That's a first shot.
I appreciate that someone is talking to Greg Medford's mom. I assume she works there or something. I don't know, but it's just funny to think of someone talking to Greg Medford's mom.
So Medford is used to building gigantic knives, right? We can all agree on this. They're all relatively simple. All of the things that he does are flat in like, scales. Let's like torch the thing. Let's put it up against a wire wheel. But it's all just flat scales. Everything bolts together. It's easy to work with because all the parts are gigantic. Once you start getting into an OTF with an actual mechanism and you're trying to assemble, I assume the reason he's having problems is he's trying to build them in-house, or did he outsource them to another company? Oh, she does work there. It's not like she has his mom on speed dial.
I know, it's just so funny.
That's so sweet. You know, send her some.
It is very infantilizing. I talked to Greg Medford's mom. I called his mom.
I told him
because the knives weren't ready.
Yeah, that's funny. You told on him.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I imagine they're making them in house, and then I just imagine it's harder than I thought it was going to be. As Jeremiah,
I saw the EMP. I did handle it. I guess this was at Blade Show. He had one of the prototypes in his pocket. He's got a lot of stuff going on. I like some of his newer designs that are coming out. The OTF doesn't excite me too much, but I'm remaining optimistic about it. I think it could be pretty cool.
Is he receiving them piece by piece from China? Honestly, who knows? Because
100%.
Yeah, Spyderco. Everyone always references the Spyderco story about them getting fined by the federal government for the battle songs. But at this point, there's so many Chinese OTFs coming into the country that I assume are fully assembled. That like,
there's another new OTF company that I follow. They're an actual company that makes knives.
Okay.
The knife itself looks really good, but I have not handled it at all, so I don't want to even talk about it just yet.
Oh, he outsourced
mechanism, something no one else has done.
One piece mechanism. Okay. Good luck, I guess. If you can,
it's all good to make it different, but it's got to work.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
I tend to trust someone like Grant and Gavin Hawk to reinvent the OTF mechanism. I tend to think that if it was that easy to make a new one, Microtech would have came out with a new OTF mechanism.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I'm sure that's going to happen. Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time.
This is so much OTF talk. It's like...
well, you know what? It's also, a lot of states have repealed their automatic knife ban and stuff. Automatic weapon. That didn't happen. No. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Like now, I've been carrying automatics now since January. Like this, I wouldn't have been able to put in my pocket up until January 2nd of this year. So that's a really, really cool thing. So I find myself buying a lot of automatics.
Yeah.
Yes, John. Thank you. I'm very happy about it as well. I think also Virginia. Was it Virginia that also happened around the same time?
It's. I don't want to do it's legal unless you get caught.
Well, in all of these states, they're legal to own.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can get like a work pass to have it.
Yeah.
But they were illegal to carry on your person which is such a silly thing.
Rhode Island has like a 3-inch blade length restriction but you can have autos. I sometimes forget that that's even that because I've just lived my life ignoring that.
I mean, I know a lot
I'm not the most suspicious looking person, I guess.
I know a lot of law enforcement here too, and they're like, we definitely don't give a crap about that.
I also don't carry my knives clipped to my pocket anymore. I carry them in my pocket.
You don't carry them like an internet celebrity does, by just clipping them to the outside of your pants.
No, I want the original Walking Dead look.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, I just carry them.
They really thought this was like a belt clip.
Because right, like if you don't know anything about knives, you're like that must be like a belt clip, like a cell phone.
So you carry it like a sheath.
Yeah, no, I carry knives unclipped in my pocket.
The Max Ace has 2 OTFs, and they're both great.
I'm sure they're going to be very good.
I have one. I gave it to Jake. I haven't seen it again.
Who takes the hit like those were probably going to come fully assembled from China. Who takes the hit when those happen? Because like he's based out of China, he doesn't have to pay that shit, right? I don't know, maybe.
I
don't know.
I honestly
Chinese,
have
American.
I know they're not taking the time to assemble them
because then you wouldn't be able to guarantee the quality at all.
The other thing is maybe they're not shipping them from China. They're probably shipping them from someplace.
I mean, anything that's being imported, it has to be brought to the U.S. at some point, right?
Yeah, but there's less restrictions from other countries.
Yeah, true. I don't know, or maybe from driving it over the border from somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Importing them to Mexico.
Because you know what? I think mine, when they were shipped to me, they came from California. So I think they head to like a distribution facility, and then they came to me. So I don't know. Yeah,
I'll
Max Ace in general, I like what they do.
I do. I had some mixed experiences with some of their knives, but I really like other ones. So their balance also look great. Not that I have any interest in them, but they just look nice.
They do
look nicely made.
There was another weird thing in here. Did you see these? I brought these. I brought these just for you because I know you did not play with these yet.
Oh God, am I going to stab myself on camera?
I hope so.
After I already freaked out about a cricket.
I hope so. Good thing there's a trainer in here.
Oh, okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah. These are so stupid popular.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane.
I'll start with the trainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way you do it is you flick it open, and then you have your "Can I snap it?" karambit style thing. So you see how I'm holding it?
Yeah.
Push the button in, and then you can. Yeah.
Oh, well,
I try to do it in slow motion.
Wow. Oh, because I am.
So see, that's how you would have stabbed right through your hand. That's how it works. You can look really cool when you do it. I'm never doing this on camera again.
I am very glad I grabbed the trainer.
Yeah. But once you learn how to do it, it actually is really fun. I wouldn't do it like that. No.
I'm gonna stab myself.
Yeah.
Good thing that's a trainer.
You hold it like you're holding a karambit. You just gotta commit.
Yeah. All right. That's fun.
This is fun trying to watch Dave do this. So tactical. Tucson would be much better if they actually did some marketing and had a better website.
Tucson has a website. Remember they used to just sell on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, I think most people, it's not actually a problem because people have gotten very good at making frame locks. So you really don't have many problems with them. But like,
I mean, we've got these down to $170.
If anything goes wrong, it's essentially a paperweight, which I kind of forget when I used to buy all these like God knows what Chinese knives off of AliExpress when I would just take a gamble on them. It's like
it seems like you had particularly bad luck with them.
Like I had some Max Aces that had some problems, and there was just like I DM'd the guy on Instagram once, and there was just some real translation issues, and nothing ever got fixed there.
Now Max Ace has sort of graduated to actual knife company.
Yeah, so things will be better now. But like Tucson, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know what their sort of customer service side of things are.
And I get hit up almost daily by some new guy, a new challenger that's entering the arena for you're never going to get this. I know how to open. I'm going to leave them here for you to perfect.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. There you go.
I can open it, but are you supposed to be able to close it the same way?
So you basically, it's a 2-part close.
Oh, okay.
So now put your thumb here and then flick that part down. So you want me to show you one more time in the slow-mo?
Yeah.
So the way it works is you get that back there and then and then I'm not doing it. Oh geez. Taking out the mic.
Good thing it's the
you get the idea.
This is fun. It is
it's fun.
Okay, yeah, I see VPN.
Yeah, you immediately look like a badass when you do that. That's even though you were scared of the cricket.
Yeah,
now you're cool.
All right.
You see how that works? Let's see what we got here. Tucson doesn't have a website. He did start selling it on Ali and Amazon. Yeah.
Oh, well, the good thing about Amazon is you can just return it at any point.
That's true.
No
that's true. But the prices were higher, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta build that in.
Right. I know, and he's been a long time Tucson admirer. I know that for sure.
I had that one that had like the political dissident bones as the handle inlay.
The what?
It had a bone inlay on the handle scale.
Okay.
Which presumably was
what did you say before that?
Political dissident. Presumably those bones.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't think that was an animal.
Not ethically sourced.
No. I think it was from a Uyghur labor camp. Okay. Well, good thing this is good thing YouTube is not owned by a Chinese platform, so we can say those things.
Who knows?
But yeah.
The Tiger, what model is that from? Riot has always got some wacky thing. I mean, you see us playing with these stupid ceramics.
Their in-house designs are bananas these days. It's a sort of like they're going down the Reich path of just weird in-house designs.
John Gray's Nuck looks interesting. Which
This
John Gray Nuck? Every time I see the guy, he's got some new Nuck.
He's got some kind of.
He is a Nuck man.
Some kind of implement.
Oh, that does
yeah.
No, because you know who it is. It's that Jabin X designer.
Oh, is this
that guy? Is incredible. That is one of the probably. I think that's who did this.
Yeah,
isn't that Jabin X or whatever? Isn't that who it is?
Yeah, he's a Chinese like custom maker who did incredible
amazing
grinds.
Yeah.
Why is there only one post about the Riot Tiger?
Yeah, Alvin Lee he from Crane's Cutlery. I think he's the one who's.
Oh, yep. He's getting
him in.
He's getting most of the cool stuff. Yeah,
they do look good.
Oh yeah, those look.
You know my problem. It's like I love Riot's knives. I rarely ever buy their standard branded knives because while I get like really excited about them initially, they always feel kind of dead after a while. Like this might be an exception because I do like the designer and the maker that they're working with, but for whatever reason, they never have too much staying power for me.
Yeah, the in-house designed ones. Yeah. I mean, because most of the stuff that they brand as Riot are designed by in-house or by his David Tang's brother.
I saw they're trying to saturate the market with more. What's his face? The guy that's not Elijah, but. You know, the other guy.
The other guy.
What's his name?
You're losing me here.
No, I'm not. What is his name? Quick, someone rattle off some old school Riot designers. Tashi, that's it.
Tashi Barucha?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he has a distinct style is what I'll say.
Yeah, so he's got a lot. They're bringing back a bunch of those, but they're the same freaking knife.
Yes, everything he designs is some sort of variation.
I mean, I guess they're popular, so there's a reason to do it, but.
You know. Yeah, Riot's in-house designs have always just been all right, but that one is quite nice.
I like the big tanky thing they did too.
Yeah, I mean, I assume what's happening is that it's the same thing that Kirby Lambert did, where his knife was branded as a Riot because they handled all the distribution and everything, and he just got like a flat royalty.
Yeah, he doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. I assume that's what this guy Alvin Lee is doing too, if it's going to be branded as a Riot, and that is a much simpler system.
I think I'm just, I'm a hard person to. Answer questions like that or decide what to buy because I find myself, more impressed by a more value proposition these days. And then I have like, wacky shit like this Rook. So stuff in the middle is hard for me to bond with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get it. I mean, yeah, that's probably the least interesting part of the market is the mid-range knives, right? The
T1000 was that the big Terminator?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that makes sense. It's got the Terminator name. District 9. I can't believe they're still around.
Those were made by I don't know who designs them. They were made by Reich, all right, District 9 stuff, and they're all goofy as hell. But it's an acquired taste, I would say. Those ones.
That's true.
I remember those from way back.
There's a knife called the Catastrophe.
Yeah, probably that's one of the. That sounds like a District 9 knife.
Yeah, that sounds right. They just said, "Oh, what's a Western word that sounds scary?"
Yeah,
it's probably not a good thing to name your knife a Catastrophe.
Yeah, right.
But,
Catastrophe.
Yeah.
I was going to think it's going to be. Oh Christ! There's one on Arizona Custom Knives. That's interesting.
That's like the landing page for a lot of weird knives. They show up there for some exorbitant price.
They're $590 on AliExpress. You could not give me one of these. Sorry, guys.
It's what? It looks like they took a Hawk Mud and fused it with I don't know.
With you know what it reminds me of is Quartermaster.
A Quartermaster. Oh my god! It's not as bad as
not quite as bad.
I don't know about that.
I forgot. Riot made the really early District 9.
Oh
knife.
yeah.
And then they switched
Riot.
over,
Right,
and then after that it was all Reich knives.
I think someone did mention.
Yeah,
that too. He's right. Yeah.
Wow.
District 9. Yeah.
Those. That was early Reich.
That was early good China.
That is very early good China.
Yeah.
That was like the Horizon series era. Wow.
I remember the first time I handled one of the Horizons. I was like, how did they do this? This was when like the best knife you could get was a ZT.
Yeah.
And ZT actually did make good
knives. I bought a Horizon A via email to someone at Riot.
That's right.
Yeah.
You went on their site, they had like 3 pictures, you sent them an email.
Yep, they posted on Blade Forums.
And then you had like a PayPal invoice or something, right?
Yep. Someone posted on Blade Forums, District 9 catastrophe from AliExpress missing 3 roller bearings. Yeah,
they're probably in the bottom of the box,
and you're never getting those. You're never getting replacements.
No,
that is the risk on buying the no-name Chinese knives.
So
I love them, but
we have the same problem. I mean, some of those other things, I swear you can probably. They've got to get better. I know Max Ace did have some of those problems with the ballad songs, not including extra hardware or something.
Yeah, that's a risk because those things back themselves out at some point. Yep, that is the one thing I'll say. It is you
got to think you can find some standardized hardware someplace for things. But
maybe if you know what you're doing, if you're one of those people that has like a relatively decent understanding of how hardware works, and
I feel like if you're a Balisong guy, you should have
backup screws and stuff. But I don't know. Sometimes you certainly can't go to Home Depot and get a new pivot screw for your knife or something. Like,
no, that's true.
Yeah, that's the problem.
The Ace hardware isn't going to do you any good.
You just have to buy every single different metric size pivot screw on AliExpress and hope one of them fits your knife.
Yeah, ZT they were the it brand.
They were, and they continue to exist. That's the highest praise I will give them.
They continue to exist. Kershaw is running rings around them, and there is a distinct separation between the two brands internally.
I mean, I think Kai, their parent company, is focusing way more on Kershaw
because that Livewire is a fantastic OTF.
Yeah, they got the new OTF. The launch series have been great. Like all of them are very good value.
Well, the launch series had like a shaky start, but I still think they had great value.
The launch 14 just released in some new handle finishes now. It's
the blue and the green, very very cool.
One very sort of aggressive Warncliffe,
and it's that super modern design. Yeah, I think that looks.
Oh no, not the launch. I was wrong. That's the launch 14. That one sucks.
That thing is horrible.
We are talking about the same one.
What's it called? I
don't know what the number is.
PVK has them.
This is the problem with this naming series.
But there's one the color continues into the flats.
The launch 13. I think that's a really cool one.
There's like an OD green one and a blue. I think like a cobalt blue.
Yep. I think Kai is just focusing on Kershaw at this point.
Let's see.
There's probably. I mean, the sales are probably so much higher on these than any ZT.
I will. Paul says the launch series went up in price by like $30. I will say the quality has also increased from when they first started. Plus, I mean, a $30 increase in today's market, I feel like is not too bad. It's not like what Spyderco is doing.
This is $130.
It's a nice knife.
It's made.
I really like
auto. I mean, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyone have any experience with Simeone custom knives? No. Do I? What do they look like? Maybe I've seen.
I've heard of this.
I haven't.
I haven't bought a custom knife in over 5 years, probably. Simeone custom. I've seen some people that had these. I don't know. Here's the thing. So people that are making knives, I don't know if he has a CNC. These look like they're mostly handmade.
As Jake would say, it looks like you could fly a Harrier through the lock bar cutout.
Yeah. So if it's handmade with like tools that are, non-CNC, those are always a risk buying, unless the person is a super established custom maker. If you're getting someone who's relatively new to making frame locks, people don't usually like nail the lock geometry that quickly.
My suggestion with that kind of stuff is if you can get to a show, if you can get to any type of show, see what comes to any of the local stuff around you, and if you can get to a bigger show, even better. There's a lot of with the social media thing, a lot of people feel kind of pressured to find the next great American knife maker and be the guy that brings them to the forefront. And whether it's a subconscious thing or it's something that you're doing, just go and see the knives, and handle them, because
you cannot tell from pictures.
You cannot. some of these knives look very, very good in photos, and then you handle them like, wow, this thing feels like it could fall apart. And I'm not saying this guy's stuff is that.
No, I
It's
don't
just,
know.
I don't know anything
This is
about it
general
to tell
advice.
you. Tell you.
There are so many custom knives that you think are going to feel great, and then do not feel as good as a CNC production knife.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to reset your expectations. Like, especially if you got into collecting knives recently, like Chinese production knives are so good that there are very few people who are making knives by hand that can achieve that same level of fit and finish.
At least not, I mean, unless you're talking large sums of money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are very few people, except for the higher echelon of custom makers, who are making things that exceed the quality of
and there's
knives.
other countries that are getting into the foray too, and offering pretty good products as well. So we'll have to see what next year holds. Mike, how are you, man? Good to see you. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a lot for tonight. This went. We're at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's a good bit. If anyone has any questions before we wrap up, we'll be happy to answer them best we can. Otherwise, join the Patreon at the $25 a month level. You'll get a bag and be entered to win KMP Voodoo #1. That drawing will be on Halloween Eve.
Which is what, Tuesday?
Tuesday evening, you and I will be getting on Instagram Live, and we will find the winner. So it should be fun. Yeah, man. I think you'll be able to watch the rest of this. If you decide to,
it'll go
you should
up
be able
right
to watch
after
it.
this.
And we plan on doing this once a month when Dave's in town.
Yep.
So we had a good time doing this. It went better than we thought it was going to go. So
yep.
We thank you very much, and we'll probably see you soon. Hopefully we'll do a full podcast. The rest of the guys wanted to be on this too, but we didn't know how it was going to work with the two of us in one room and the other guys remote. So we'll see how that goes. Anything else I can tell you? Nope, that's about it. Definitely follow Knife Nuts Dave on Instagram if you haven't already.
I'll post.
And I'm Knife Nuts Podcast. I'm going to leave some knives with Dave so that he has some content he can post. And we'll see you guys soon. All right. Yep. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon. All right.
See you guys.
It's always like one more click.
Yeah.